Good to see y'all here. We've come such a long way, you know. I mean, just a few months ago, this was a felony. So it feels like, you know, we're there, right? It's over? Yeah, pandemic's over? Okay, for two of you, it's over. I was like, we don't trust it. That makes sense in California, because last summer here, right, June 15th, it was over, right? They're like, we're done, no more mandates. Everyone's like, we did it, yay, yay. Then 2 weeks later, they were like, hey, we messed up. There's a Delta variant, and I remember thinking, why isn't airline sponsoring a virus? Seems like questionable marketing. They were like, it's the Delta variant, it's back, everybody, the mandates are back, get your masks, oh my God, it's an emergency, get your mask. I'm like, where's my mask? And they were like, well, not today, Saturday. Do you remember that? It was like an emergency with a delay, you know? It's sort of like, hey, the house is on fire, but hang out for a while, finish Netflix, then take off, it's okay. I wasn't like one of the people that was prepared for the pandemic. Like it kind of snuck up on. I remember when it came real for me, it was the first time I was in a supermarket. Yeah, and there were empty shelves. Like that, as an American, that is shocking. You know what I mean? Like I'm used to nobody having health care, but we get 90 kinds of cereal. Like that's the deal that we've made. That's, come on, isn't this capitalism? What's going on here? I was just freaked out walking through the supermarket, empty shelves. No pickles. I was like, I'm not going to make it. This is... Like, I'm a Jew. I need a gherkin. This isn't going to be good. At the end, I'm just buying what's left, because what else am I going to do? You know, I'm checking out. I realize I got 20 pounds of onions. 7 sponges. And a gallon of low-calorie barbecue sauce. This is a rough start. And I was freaked out. I remember calling my friend, and I was like, this is bad. They're out of stock. Like, I'm about an hour away from eating relish with a spoon. This is scary. And she had no sympathy. She was like, Dave, I work in the hospital in the emergency room. We're out of basic medical supplies. Right. Way to make it all about you. It's just... The scariest part of the pandemic for me early on was that my mom, she lives by herself in Brooklyn, New York, right in the middle of all of this, and she's 84 years old. And she's been smoking for 90 of those 84 years. I remember calling her up, and I was like, Mom, how you doing? And she's just, you know, I don't want to wear the mask. I was like, nobody wants to wear the mask, Mom. It's for safety. I can't breathe in the mask. It's like you can't breathe without the mask, so at least it's a familiar feeling. What do you... One day I called up, and she says, hey, I figured out how to smoke in the mask. I was like, I don't think that's the right goal, you know, that's just... And I had this vision of her smoking, trying to smoke through the mask. Like, she doesn't have that kind of lung power, so that... And I was thinking maybe she just cut a hole in the mask, which would be hysterically ineffective. So if I said, I'll bite, how do you smoke in the mask? Okay. I find a corner where nobody's around. I take off the mask and I smoke. I was like, oh, good, problem solved. Look at you. And then she didn't want to get the vaccine. She was scared. It's like, I'm waiting for the one shot. I don't want to schlep twice. And finally, I realized that she was scared and didn't want to do it, and so I had to fly to New York to take her to get vaccinated. And I don't know if anybody flew during the pandemic, but it was nice. There was nobody on the plane. It was beautiful. And here's the thing. In New York, cigarettes are like $20 a pack. And so whenever I visit, I have to bring her cheap California cigarettes. And so I get there. I haven't seen her in the whole thing. I'm so happy. I give her a big hug. And like a minute in, she's like, hey, did you bring the smokes? Yeah. I got your smokes. Oh, you're the best son in the world. Am I? I remember when we used to solve problems in this country. Remember a couple years ago, you guys remember the Romaine Lettuce? Do you remember that? Yeah, 2 years ago, Romaine Lettuce killed 2 people in this country. That's normally not the funny part, but okay. That is true. Romaine Lettuce killed 2 people in this country, and we came together as a nation. Do you remember that? Romaine Lettuce killed 2 people. They recalled all the Romaine Lettuce. Think about how everybody came together. Romaine Lettuce killed 2 people, and everybody pitched in. Even down south, they were like, gotta get that Romanian lettuce. Like, everybody. Think about it. Romaine Lettuce killed 2 people in this country, and we gathered and sequestered every head of Romaine Lettuce from sea to shining sea. It's amazing. Now, gun violence kills 50,000 people a year. And we recalled every head of Romaine Lettuce. It's true, gun violence kills over 100 people a day in this country. But you can sleep tight because you're safe from the Caesar fucking salad, okay? Okay, this is gonna sound a little bit weird. I don't know how tall I am. I don't know. I refuse to be measured. It's been many, many years, so I really do not know how tall I am. People are like, how tall are you? This. This is exactly how tall I am. I don't know why we got to put numbers on everything. Everybody's quantifying everything. I like not knowing. Right? Like, I know how old I am. That doesn't help me. I wish I didn't know how old I was. That would be amazing. If I didn't know how old I was, I would be so much younger. You know, it's like you always hear about how in the olden days people died much younger. I don't think so. I think nobody knew how old they were. And so when they're like, hey, it looks like you're dying, how old are you? I'm 35. I think you're 80, but okay, we'll write that down. Just... Now, my driver's license says that I'm 5'6". Maybe. You know what I mean? It's the DMV, so who really knows? You know, where did they get that information? I suspect they got it from me. And I'm a horrible source, so nobody knows. I went to the doctor and they wouldn't shut up about it. They were like, hey, we need to measure you for your medical exam. And I was like, I don't participate in that. And they were confused. They were like, no, we measure everybody. And I was like, not anymore. It's really none of your business. You know what I mean? How tall am I? Shut up, what's your credit score? Mind your own business. You don't need to, there are no diseases for people 5'5" and below, you know? So stick a couple fingers in my ass and leave me alone. Now, I'm not tall. I know that. And I'm grateful. Because being tall, I mean, that's difficult, you know? You see these tall people walking around, and they're all hunched, and they just look so exhausted. Have you noticed that? Just hauling all that extra meat. It's like everything is uphill. It's just, I feel so bad for them, you know? They trip and they fall. It's way worse. You know what I mean? They have to eat a lot more just to get the blood up to their huge pumpkin-like heads. It's a hard life, that's all I'm saying. Their health is poor, they die young. It's not good. Their children don't love them. It's science. It's just, you know. And even the used car places make fun of them. That's rude. Why would we let that happen? That's horrible. I had an experience with one of these giants the other day. And what happened is I was on an airplane and I was sitting in my window seat, and you know, the plane's boarding and I know I'm gonna get it's full flight-ish and somebody's gonna be, and they're coming and I'm just like, oh please petite, come on. And this huge guy comes and I didn't like him from the beginning. Not just because he was tall, it was just, you know, he's wearing camouflage and he smelled like Chick-fil-A. I just didn't like him. And I don't need that for 8 hours, you know, and I don't mean to be judgy, but sometimes it just happens. And he had to be like 5'11". He was huge. And so he takes his seat, and I immediately give up the armrest, right? I know, I'm polite, right? We all know this. The person in the middle seat gets both armrests, right? They have no dignity, but they get a place for their elbows. That's common courtesy. And then a couple minutes later, I realize that they're done boarding, and we're about to take off, and there's nobody in the aisle. This is a win. Right? And we all know what happens immediately is... Right? Like, we don't have a conversation about this. You just move the fuck over. What do you... Right? Like, geese fly south and you move over. This is... And he didn't. He just sat there, and I'm getting mad. You know what I mean? Like I immediately retook the armrest. Like... You've lost that privilege. And I really find myself getting angry, and I'm about to have words with this idiot, you know? And then I realized that my anger was just about me living in this country and about how our culture is so mad and everybody's looking to be offended and have a conflict, and what am I doing? And I found my humanity. And I tapped him on the shoulder and I said, hey man, are you okay? And he looked at me and he looked kind of confused and he said, I'm fine, why do you ask? And I said, well, it's just that you haven't moved the fuck over. What are you doing? What are you doing? And he said, oh, I'm so sorry. I was distracted. And he moved right over, and we had a nice moment. And I felt good. I felt good about myself and my ability to avoid a conflict, and it was a nice moment. And then I missed him. So then I moved over into the middle seat. Just we all need friends. That's all I'm saying. All right, well, thank you guys very much. I appreciate you. My name is Dave Reinitz.